I'm not going to be forced to sugarcoat this stuff just because you don't like it.
Greetings, viewers! Night here. So, as I'm sure you've noticed, I've been rather productive this month, uploading a commentary every other day. I think I've been compensating for the lack of activity last month. Who am I, 2016 Doodle Tones? So back in April, I covered a commentator by the name of Lucas C., who did possibly the worst commentary on Dylan Thomas anyone could ever put out. Then in July I talked about how he responded to criticism people in Sugar Pie server were giving him, and his god-awful response to Keyblade Master. Sometimes later, I don't know when, Lucas, who changed his username to Dwebly, made this comment on one of Joe Smith's videos. The Precious Cinnamon Roll Weeaboo SF101 responded to this comment, they had a back and forth, and later on I'm hearing that Mudkip boy here is going around calling Azzy retarded in several Discord servers and pissing off a shit ton of people. Oh crap. Delayed disclaimer? This video is covering petty childish internet drama. Unless you're a fan of that kind of stuff, click off the video now. Unless you don't mind continuing, and if that's the case, onward we go. Well, months went by and I, at the very least, thought Dwebly had moved on from all of this. I thought like an idiot, because not only had Dwebly not gotten over the argument with ourselves, but he made a video talking about it, reigniting a fire we'd all just wanted to burn out. Amidst all his unscripted mumbling and repetition about respect, he said this.
I already apologized to Azelf, but even then, I still do not regret my actions.
He also intentionally lied about arguments made by V Omega and Kainu, and that just pissed off even more people, since Dwebly exposed himself as someone who's untrustworthy and will lie if it suits his narrative. Dwebly's videos have already been covered by Sumcat, Doodle Tones, Undead Meowth, V Omega, and Alt Smick. If you think I'm going to be jumping on the bandwagon, you're sort of right. I had intended to talk about Dwebly's behavior some time ago, but chose to scrap the video because it felt like I wouldn't have much to add. But, oh, what divine intelligence. That something should happen that would cause me to make this video. You guys sure you still want to continue? It's still not too late to click off this video and go watch kittens doing something cute or something. No? Still want to watch? Okay. So I made a comment on Doll's video, which was just me taking a little jab at Dwebly, who, despite saying anyone who gets worked up over stuff on the internet are pathetic, got worked up over a simple comment from Azelf, and read about it for months. Dwebly responded with this.
Dead meme is dead.
Bit of trivia about me. My filter sort of turns off at night, which was when I came across Doll's video. And I have told people that I tend to be a dick towards those I feel warranted. Given everything I've told you guys, I indeed felt that Dwebly warranted it. Though you're free to argue with me on this. So while I was half asleep and this comment made me feel punchy, I responded by telling Dwebly not to try and start anything with me, and that if he persisted to, I would make a video on him anyway, despite saying that everyone before me had done an excellent job.
Even Slayer, who changed the subject and didn't debug my points at all? That's funny.
So I initially thought that he meant the comment chain over on V Omega's channel, where he got into a huge fight with several people. But after a while it did click in my brain that, oh yeah, Slayer did make a video, didn't he? Again, my brain was half on at the time. Before that clicked, however, I told Dwebly that pretty much everyone else had exposed his petty childish behavior with their videos.
But Slayer didn't prove I was being childish. Reread my comment because I'm not rewriting it.
Before I could respond to him, however, Blazin' Hope, aka the second little cinnamon roll of the CC I've met, joined in on this comment chain.
Everyone? Even Slayer? Who changed the subject and didn't debunk my points on hand? I think even Arkin argued that he was using the devil's advocate, which isn't the definition of being around the bush. Being around the bush would imply that Slayer wasn't getting through the main point of his argument, which is what he did, in about a 1 minute at most. He didn't debunk it directly, but it was a scenario if he'd actually said what you just claimed.
Even then though, That some can have objective reasons for why he/she thinks something is objectively good or bad. I choose to leave that out because it's a whole nother can of worms.
So wait, you chose to leave out context of Slayer's video? That's sort of dishonest of you. That implies that you chose to label Slayer's video invalid, simply because Slayer hadn't repeated everything said by some cat or doodle. At least that's the impression you're leaving on me.
His video was the most pointless. Also, this is just one big what-if scenario. Hypotheticals aren't good if they're just the main point at hand. Thanks, Cloud Palace.
What's with this jab at the Cloud Palace? Is it simply because Chippy's a part of that group? I am seriously confused here. It feels like you're being catty just for the sake of being catty, which honestly isn't hard to believe of you. In regards to Dwebly calling Slayer's video pointless, I, still feeling somewhat punchy, pointed out to Dwebly that he has this on his channel. Absolutely nothing but a blank black screen for 19 and 14 minutes after 16 seconds of the video starting. You have no room to talk down about another content creator's work when you unashamedly have crap like this on your channel. We were then rejoined by Tippy and later Slayer.
And your point of that means that he shouldn't have made it? Whether it was pointless or not, it doesn't change the fact that he still made a point that was direct to what he was trying to argue, which doesn't make it being around the bush. Hypotheticals are meant to help the argument, but considering Slayer already addressed that some cat covered this better, and he wanted to do a hypothetical that helps around the main point of the argument, that being the point you made towards V, that he claimed that a video can be objectively good and you say no, which he said it can, and to he is Slayer, to my knowledge. He was arguing with the point you presented with another angle. Do you not see why this is a problem when you say that he's beating around the bush?
Hello, I'm the evil person who evilly beats around the evil bush. Don't mind me, I'ma just sit around and watch the fireworks. Though I will say that you admitting that you chose not to ignore the possibility of having objective reasons for disliking something, I hope you realize that that actually hurts what you say a lot more than you think, cause you're flat out fucking admitting that you didn't take in any other possibility. Therefore, I had every right to call you out on it.
And considering how that was the end of that, it's time for final thoughts on this whole thing. Dwebly, I thought I'd only be talking about you again at the end of December, but I was wrong. The fact that this bandwagon on you exists at all proves that you've done nothing but obsess over the argument you had with Azelf. And from everything I've heard and seen, you've shown absolutely no signs of wanting to get over it. You've also relentlessly pissed off everyone around you while you pissed and moaned about Azzy. And whenever someone disagreed with you or told you to drop it, you simply chose to act like you were in the right and that you knew better. And if you're going to tell me that that isn't true at all, I can always go to V or Doll and ask them. I honestly haven't seen anyone begin to have such a downward spiral since Mad Plushie. And trust me, you don't want to be compared to the guy who's caused so much shit this year that he's been blacklisted from several groups and earned the nickname the Retarded Tumor. People have told me that you're 15 and you have Asperger's, but I'm here to tell you that neither are an excuse for this type of behavior, especially when you've been corrected so often and refuse to change for the better. Bottom line, pull your head out of your ass and grow up. And with all that said, this is Night I Die saying thanks for letting me share my thoughts. Share yours with me.